Wait a second, that's not Bob.
What do you mean? I just upgraded my mic.
They can see you, so. And I got 20 years younger and changed my ethnicity. It's just plastic surgery. Plastic surgery. All right, so we
Yep,
have
yep.
Timmy on with us for this show because Bob is currently on vacation. So it is Timothy and it's James, of course. You can't have Kush Talk without James, but we can have it without Bob. All right, so quite a big show. I'm sure Bob's gonna be mad looking back at it that he missed it because we have like the biggest news rundown right now that we've had in a long time. Probably a couple, like 20 shows or so. I mean, this is like we have like eight news stories here almost, I think. So, and then we have a pretty big topic to discuss. I know Bob would love to talk about how Busch Gardens was doing. So yeah, he's missing quite a big show, but he's on vacation, so I'm sure he's having a good time.
If I was Bob, I wish I was Bob because then I'd have all these height like restriction, all height restriction knowledge.
How can you have a 46-inch height requirement? I just can't contemplate that.
Cedar Point just needs more kiddie coasters, you know.
Yeah. You go from Cedar Creek Mine Ride, and then you can ride Millennium Force. It's just crazy. It's crazy. Or I think that's it.
You could have a bag on Iron Dragon, but
you can't have a kid.
But you can't have a kid.
Oh, Bobby.
I've heard it all. Oh, Bobby.
Yeah. So our viewers, again, this is not this is not Bob. I know it looks like him. I know he's not.
I know the resemblance uncanny.
He's not as handsome as Bob, but you know.
I know.
I wish you did like that with your water.
Did I do that?
I said I wish you would. I'm just kidding. Recording the podcast and you're just like,
I'll breathe into my mic. It's really hard.
just do a Bob. All right, guys. So we're pretty much ready to start here. Timmy has his audio program set up. I have mine all set up. I'm gonna test mine quickly.
See how this works. I already tested mine, so huh.
Yeah, well, I'm been getting other stuff together, so ha. Are you frozen or am I just?
I guess that's true.
Oh no, never mind. You're not. Anyone in the chat wants
It's
to?
probably just your internet being great again.
Oh yeah, it's the greatest thing of all time, probably. Top 10 internets ever. Alright, I'm gonna test my audio real quick, just for the show, for the show, don't you know? Alright. Here we go. Hey everyone, this is James
Just tell me
Barber, and I'm
when
just testing my audio.
Oh, okay, I was like, you're just hit me with the Bob.
I'm not gonna do it to Bob now. I would never do that to you, Timmy. Hello, everybody. This is James Barber.
Oh,
I'm gonna test my audio real quick. Is that okay?
Hi. No.
Hello, everybody. This is James Barber, and I am your host of Coaster Talk Podcast, your source for everything roller coasters. It is August 9th, 2020. It's episode number 84, and I'm testing my microphone. It's a little all over the place.
That was an extensive test right there. I was really worried if that wasn't a test for a second.
Oh, I test very goodly. I test extremely goodly. Goodly's my new favorite word. Even though it's not a word. Top 10 new favorite words. Alrighty, guys. So let's start the show. Are you ready, Timothy?
I think so. I guess we'll see. Just tell me when to hit record.
I guess we'll see. SLC. I'm just kidding. So again, we're gonna have that intermediate pause there. All right. Let me get everything set up. So we're gonna. Hey everybody, welcome to Chris Talk. I'm James Barber. Timmy's here with me. No, you're gonna say I'm Bob.
Yeah.
And then we'll jump into Knobles. I don't know how we'll transition to that. I'll be like, well, since you're Bob, let's talk about your favorite park. Or since Bob's not here, let's talk about his favorite park first.
Six Flags America.
This is gonna be a comedy show. People are gonna be like, "Wait, we like this. Why don't you guys do this every week?" All right, you ready?
I am.
Let's do it live. You ready? Do you want me to
Yep.
count down, or do you want to count down?
You count down. I'm just assuming I hit record on 0 or whatever.
When I say 1, and then I go like that, then you click record.
Okay.
All right, so. Hello, everybody, and welcome to Coaster Talk Podcast. I am James Barber.
And I'm Bob Mertz.
Just gotta. You finally upgraded that mic, like I told you to, Timmy.
Yeah, I got a Blue Yeti, guys.
Oh man, so that is not Bob actually. That yeah, you guys can't tell. I know it's hard. That is Timmy, and Timmy is our temporary co-host for this episode of Coaster Talk Podcast. It is August 9th, 2020. Bob is currently on vacation, so we cannot have him on. He's not able to get on right now. He's actually hanging out with his family, so we kind of allowed him off. We gave him some off time, gave him some leeway there. We were normally pretty strict about that, but we allowed him some time off there. And since Bob is not here this week, we're actually going to start off. I think it's well suited that we start off talking about his favorite park.
Oh, yes. Six Flags America.
No, not Six Flags America. Probably a close second for him, though. But we're going to talk about Knobles. I know he loves Firebird, too, so we're going to talk about Knobles, actually. And
Yeah.
Knobles actually just announced kind of on their Twitter account that tomorrow, of course, so the next day after recording this podcast, we record the podcast every Thursday night at 9 o'clock at night. We record the show. They're actually going to be announcing tomorrow, Friday, that they're going to be announcing some big news. It says, only good news coming from your friends here at Knobles. Tomorrow, August 7th, 2020, 10 o'clock, 10 a.m. in the morning, they're going to be announcing big news. So that's exciting stuff. But again, it's the day after we record the show, so we're not able to discuss it on this week's show. So next week's show, whatever they do announce, if it is big enough, as long as it's not like we're getting new bathrooms or something, we will 100% talk about it on next week's show.
Toilet seats. Toilet seats would actually be something probably good enough to talk about on the next show.
Maybe we bring that up, yeah, for sure. But that was just something I thought we'd quickly bring up and discuss, because I know some people might be like, hey, why didn't you talk about that? And that's because, again, they are announcing it the day after we record this show, so we're not able to do that on this week's show. But again, if it's relevant, if it's a big story, we'll talk about it on next week's show. So something that is really exciting, something that's very relevant to both me and Timmy as well, on a different level. That yes, it's relevant on an amusement park level, but it's even more relevant because we are about Timmy's about an hour and a half away. I'm about 20 minutes away from King's Dominion. And they just announced for their 2020 season that they're going to be closed for the entire season. So that is very disappointing. That means no. I mean, some people were thinking maybe Winterfest. Some people were thinking even that there was a possibility of them trying to compete with Busch Gardens Williamsburg and kind of doing a small event and try to kind of outdo Busch Gardens Williamsburg. Try to have some competition there. But they didn't. They did not. I think it was more of a corporate decision for them to just go, nope, let's just close these parks, and it doesn't matter what else. We just want to get people to like Cedar Point and to Kings Island, and that's kind of our main focus right now. Because as well, also announced closing was Carowinds for 2020 as well. Knott's Berry Farm canceled their Halloween event, Not Scary Farm. I would say that Knott's Berry Farm still has a chance of opening. I mean, considering you're a year-round park, I would see that.
Yeah, they're a year-round park, so.
Mm-hmm. There's
It's
definitely
just like it makes a lot more sense for them to be able to open up like later in the year or whenever like things start to clear up here.
yeah. I would definitely think that if we do get some sort of vaccine, maybe later in the winter time, we might see Knott's Berry Farm open their gates. And I mean, in California, it's not really winter time down there, so I'm sure it'll still be good temperatures, nice temperatures.
Exactly.
So there will be no reason for them to stay closed. Also announced closing is Valley Fair in California's Great America. So they're also closed for 2020. Worlds of Fun and Dorney will be stopping their operations after Labor Day. So that's the last time that you can go up to Worlds of Fun and Dorney. And then Kings Island said we're not going to have any haunt events or Winterfest events. We're just going to be doing a trick or treat fall event. I'm kind of worrying, or not worrying, but I'm kind of wondering, I guess is a better word, if Kings Island will announce later on that they're going to do some sort of other Christmas event. Maybe not. I mean, because you think, I can't, like, yes, haunt makes sense. You're walking around, there's close contact, people getting in your face, screaming,
Right.
and trying to scare you. But Christmas events, I don't feel like are that. I feel like they're almost like
Right. You don't need to be that close to other people.
yeah. It's almost like the exact opposite of Halloween and haunt events. Like you don't need to touch anything. You're basically just looking at lights. Sometimes you don't even ride the rides. So I feel
Right.
like, especially if you have less rides operating, I don't understand why you wouldn't do a Christmas event. So I don't. Maybe Kings Island will announce later a date that they're going to do a Christmas event. I know a lot of parks aren't trying to. They're not doing extensive calendars right now. They're not looking into the future due to the fact that, it's so uncertain right now with COVID and everything that what could happen. So, but I think there's definitely a good chance, I would say, that Kings Island announces a winter event, some sort of winter event. I don't know if it'll be Winterfest in the flesh and they'll do the exact same thing, or maybe just like we weren't talking. So
Yeah.
feel free to just jump in too, Bob. Just as Bob's used to it, but just jump in whenever. I don't want
Okay.
to like stop
Yeah.
talking and then like be like blank silence.
Yeah. Okay. That makes sense. Yeah.
But if you want to be like say something there, like just start talking. Let me see what the last thing I said was. Smaller section of the park than normal. I don't know. I was talking about maybe Kings Island would just open up a smaller section of the park, like even smaller than
Oh.
normal.
Okay.
On the live stream, I don't know. I think we're live. Might be jumpy. Might be laggy. So just whatever you need to do. I don't know what I'm talking about. If not, you can hop off. I don't know what's gonna go on with that. But yeah. You ready to continue?
Yep.
So I said something. I said the last thing I said was I don't know, or I agree, or
Okay.
just feel free. Just go on a rant. Be
Yep.
Bob. You don't need to talk too much, but you don't need to talk too little either.
Okay.
All right, you ready?
Yeah. You're gonna count me down.
Yeah, 3, 2.
Yeah. It'd be really nice to see them open a small part of the park at least, because it's like when I think of Winterfest, Kings Island is like pretty iconic, and in my opinion, like I don't know, it's just something about Kings Island. It's something every time I think about Winterfest, it's like it feels like the King's Dominion of Winterfest up there almost in my eyes.
Yeah, that's a fair point. It's definitely it's kind of like a staple event for them. A lot of people love going up to Kings Island and doing Winterfest. Especially, I mean, a few years back, there was actual snow there and stuff. I don't think it's ever snowed at Kings Dominion's Winterfest yet. Not that I recall, or not a significant enough amount. Pictures of Kings Island and the actual snow during Winterfest. People riding Mystic Timbers during it snowing, and that's really awesome. So
That's awesome. That's really unique.
yeah, so that's something.
What other rides do they have open during Winterfest up there?
I think that's the only coaster they have open during Winterfest up there. I think they have other smaller attractions open, but I think in terms of roller coasters, normally 2 roller coasters are operational. But they're definitely not as good as Mystic Timbers. I'd take Mystic Timbers over Rebel Yell and Dominator all year.
Well, yeah, it does say it's near here, so
I don't think Twisted Timbers I've never operated during a fest.
I thought it did last year. Did it not? Oh no, wait, did it?
It did not. That was a rumor.
I can't
I'm pretty
remember.
sure. It was a rumor that it was going
Oh.
to. That's why I was like, wait a second, Timmy, are you telling me you rode Twisted Timbers during Winterfest last year?
You told me you didn't. I just ran over and I just started the ride up. I operated it.
I thought that's what you're supposed to do. Yeah, so Kings Island Winterfest definitely something that would I wouldn't understand why they couldn't do it if they do a thing they can do. I wouldn't really comprehend the logic there because, again, it's such a no-touch event. And people would still come and look at the lights. So, and that would be very social. Just don't see them not announcing that at a later date if everything goes well in terms of COVID and everything's going okay and going on the right track.
Just Googled it, and it says
Are you kidding me?
I'm not kidding. I was gonna say I thought I might have written it. I remember that like it might have been open all the way back to there,
I
because I
just
remember like they had that giant Santa out in that area.
remember writing it during Winterfest. I mean, if it was open, I know I wrote it because I went to Winterfest. I don't know how a void in my mind that I just didn't write Twisted Timbers. That is
I know that it
crazy.
wasn't open. I think the first year possibly, but I
The
just went
rumor
on the
was,
Kings
yeah,
Dominion
the rumor
website.
was at Media Day in 2018 that they were going to run it during the winter, and they didn't do it, and I was very disappointed with them in doing that. So I can't believe I don't remember that happening last year because now it's like I don't remember. It feels like 2019 was like 8 years ago almost. So I'm
Yeah,
just gonna blame it
I remember
on the pandemic. I'm
last
just gonna
season.
blame it on that. I don't really remember it. 'Cause I'm sure I wrote it. I just don't remember it. All right, 2020 pre-pandemic, or if that's 2020 like it's still happening, post-pandemic, or not even post, but like during the pandemic. Like it's really confusing. Like I really wish Parks would clarify like this is happening. Still happening in 2020. Like this is still happening in
Like say like
2020.
if they play the date and
Yeah,
like
this
I
was
think that'd be really useful because I know like Knobles also has air, and we were talking
yes.
about the other day about Phoenix Fall Fun
That's
Fest,
that's what I was.
and
Yeah,
we were wondering if that was updated or not recently.
yeah, because I was on it, and I can't tell if that's October 10th, 2020. Looking at it from 2019 or looking at it still
Right.
like I just can't tell. Because I think we were talking about this with Bob actually. We were talking, me and you and Bob were talking about how they have the Covered Bridge Festival and how that's been canceled now, and that's a big part of Phoenix Fall Fun Fest. Or are they still going to have it? I really wouldn't care about the actual event itself, but I don't know if they're still going to have the roller coaster enthusiast portion of it.
Right.
So that's just what
Because
we'll figure
I
out.
want my Phoenix Night rides. Those things
Yeah,
are amazing.
those were insane. And I guess irregardless, we could still go up to Knobles, but I would like to know
Yeah.
if that event's going to be occurring still. So yes, that's the update on Cedar Fair. Six Flags also announced water park updates, and we're just going to quickly read through those. There's no really reason to go into that, but the Hurricane Harbor at Magic Mountain, the Hurricane Harbor Splashtown, Hurricane Harbor Concord, and Hurricane Harbor Phoenix are all going to remain closed for the remainder of 2020. So I know a lot of you were bummed out about that. You guys wanted to go to your Hurricane Harbor, and I'm sorry to have to break that news to you right there, but it's
Yeah,
not.
it's kind of obvious at this point. I think most water parks probably are rating.
Yeah,
It's
yeah,
just like I don't know. I feel like there's even if the chlorine is like something like combats this virus, I don't think parks want to take the risk
yeah. I know
because
some
it
water
seems
parks
like a
are
PR
operational.
nightmare.
I know some water parks are operational. And I was wondering like how, especially like 'cause a lot of people want to lay out in the sun and stuff. How do you like socially distance from when you're doing that? I know you can like try to have people 6 feet apart, but especially in water park, I guess you'd have to reach a certain capacity at that point and just say, you can't come in, so we're gonna socially distance every. Wave pools? How do you socially? I mean, wave pools are like you're getting thrown,
Yeah,
you're getting thrown around, you're getting put each either way. You're gonna bump into people. I just don't see how that's. But they are doing it. Some water parks aren't doing it. These Six Flags ones have announced that they're not going to be opening up for 2020. So yes, that is our little update on Cedar Fair and our little update on Six Flags water parks. Something interesting, something really me and Tim had to do a tiny bit of research before
yeah.
for the show. Yeah.
A tiny bit's a little bit of an understatement, but
We pretty much searched like every social media platform that we could find and just looked up. Neither of us could remember truly what was going on with Six Flags Dubai, if they were going to be purchasing the Dubai parks, if they were going to be. But Timmy actually, thankfully, remembered that what was happening is that Six Flags Dubai was going to be operated by Dubai Parks and Resorts just under the Six Flags name, and Six Flags wouldn't have any input, really any operation in the park.
right.
It would be the Dubai Parks. Probably like, wait, that was canceled a while ago. Why are you bringing that up? We're bringing this up because the GCI wooden coaster that was supposed to be built at Six Flags Dubai is still being built. It's at one of the it's being built now at one of the existing parks. So I guess they already had that deal made with GCI. The Dubai Parks and Resorts already had that deal with them, and they're like, you know what? It's a great coaster. Let's still build it at one of our other parks. And Six Flags Dubai is not happening. Being built at Six Flags Dubai. There are actually some images of it. And again, if you want to look at the show notes, there will be a link to the images of this attraction. There's some images of it, and breaking the airtime record for wooden coasters. So this is going to be
This
a
is
big.
really interesting to me.
Yeah,
Steel Vengeance.
yeah,
And then if it goes to a GCI, I know that'd be really interesting. It'd give people a reason to go out to Dubai other than
yeah.
Ferrari World.
You'd have yeah, an even more reason to go out there and check out this awesome wooden coaster. I'm sure it's going to be great. I'm sure it's going to be a really great attraction. So which park it's going at? because people are saying they can't get good shots of it. They can't really tell what. I guess there's multiple contains multiple parks, almost like Disney or something, where there's multiple parks next to each other, kind of. And there's two parks, and me and Timmy actually had quite a bit of a chuckle at this. So there's two parks. There's called Motion Gate, and then there's Bollywood, and that is BOOD, Bollywood. And I have a tough time believing that they named it that without knowing. I feel like if you look
I
up
know, it's
Bollywood
like
on Google, it might actually come up with like that recommended search, like you misspelled